the fact that it's tied to Nvidia means it's a first party source. Like it's now more than we've ever had. Now, this is something that's been a topic for a long time. The past 2, maybe even 3 years. I feel like Switch Pro,
long.
You know, I think Switch Pro rumors were even out before the Switch launched. If you remember?
I mean,
because there was like the Switch dev kit looked beeffier and everything. So I think even then, like people were seeing Switch dev kits and being like, "Oh, they're working on a Switch Pro." Like
for one thing, everyone's getting something wrong. It's the new Nintendo Switch, not the Switch Pro.
Well,
or
we don't know what it is.
The Super Nintendo Switch.
No, we don't know what it is.
It's not the Switch Pro.
Well, it won't be called that. Yes,
exactly.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Irrelevant.
The Super Nintendo Switch. Sounds great. Regardless, though, the Nvidia, we got a leak from Nvidia. This was actually a ransomware attack.
Right. Yeah.
That led to
a
leak.
Let's just get this off of our chest. We don't support that.
But if it gets us a Switch Pro faster.
No. No. This is terrible thing. Nvidia's like, they're saying things like, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Like,
yeah, no,
you know,
sure.
They're asking for money and they're like, no, we're not.
Right.
This is a big deal. And it's a huge bummer. Nvidia is a great company. We love them. We're so stoked what they did with the Switch and maybe the Switch 2. This is a terrible thing. However,
for sure.
Maybe some interesting news here.
Dive into this. Tell me about it.
So it's NVM
right.
that's the code, like that's the file extension or whatever for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That's a thing that exists.
Nintendo,
we know that
very much.
It's a fact. Nintendo very much. We don't know what that stands for. It's the file extension that Nvidia has assigned. You said Nvidia earlier, and I keep saying it. It's Nvidia. Stop.
Nvidia.
No.
Infinidia.
You're gonna make everyone mad at me. Nvidia. Now I lost my train of thought. Gosh dang it.
NVM2 popped up.
Right.
This ransomware.
So in the leak, we found NVM2. Now, that is significant. Hold on, okay. Because we've been talking about the Switch Pro for how long?
Years.
5 years, right? So what has that been based on prior to this? Nothing. Just the fact that Bloomberg said blah, blah, blah about a rumor and got people all excited, and then nothing happened. We got the OLED, which they're like, oh yeah, maybe that's... No, that was not... They didn't know about that. They've been blowing smoke about a Nintendo Switch Pro for years. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. This looks like it's probably talking about the successor to the Switch, not a Switch Pro.
Right. So here's the thing.
The Switch 2.
This is why.
Hence NVM2.
This is why I think this is not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. So, Sony has already talked about. Someone in Sony is talking about the PlayStation 6. Someone in Microsoft is talking about the Xbox Series X2. You know, like as soon as the generation comes out, they already start like preliminary talks about the next generation.
Of course.
We will eventually get another Nintendo console, and all this does is say we'll eventually get another Nintendo console.
Well, did you see the graphic that Nintendo put out like a couple months ago that said between now and 2099
oh really?
We'll have a new console.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like new hardware somewhere. Yeah. Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's what I mean though. Is like, so we'll get a new Nintendo console eventually.
Sure.
Like, cool.
And of course.
I just think people are like making this a much bigger deal than it needs to be, and I think what this really tells us is absolutely nothing.
I mean, you're right. I partially agree. This is something though. The fact that it's tied to Nvidia means it's a first party source. Like it's now more than we've ever had. And the fact that it's called NVM2 and not NVMX or NVM Plus or NVM, it means we're probably not going to get a Switch Pro is what this means. we're probably not getting an upgraded version of the current Switch with DLSS, which is what Bloomberg has claimed for the past couple of years.
Let's just talk about what we think Nintendo is going to do next. So, I think
Switch Lite OLED. That's for sure. So? That's for sure going to happen.
That's cool.
I think if they
pick that up,
I think it will either be announced or released by the end of the year.
So I will only. So that's interesting because I feel like the $200 price point is perfect for the Switch Lite, and I don't think any more. I wouldn't pay $250 for a Switch Lite.
It will be $250.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
But you don't even use your Switch in portable mode, so
it's gonna sell that well. Personally,
I think it will. I think they'll fade out the current Switch model and the current Switch Lite and just have OLEDs.
So now that kind of leads me to what I think Nintendo is gonna do. I think we are just gonna, like we had the DS family. I think we're gonna get the Switch family. I think the Switch form factor is perfect. It's very successful. It's so successful.
It's not perfect. It's not very ergonomic.
Sure. I just mean
the Joy-Cons are not great.
I just mean the portable and the docked mode. One console.
Right.
That's what when I say the Switch model. That's what I'm talking about. Right. So it's so popular that people like Valve are copying it. Right?
People like Valve, people like Ioneo, people like
exactly.
I mean, there's so many.
They're trying to. I mean, there's so many people who are trying to copy the success of it. So I think that we might just get slight upgrades to the Switch. We might get a little bit different.
Nintendo doesn't do slight upgrades. Like they will within a console lifetime, but I think what we're learning from this Nvidia leak is that the Switch 2 is coming. It's coming sooner than we thought. They've been saying for the past 3 years we're in the middle of the Switch life cycle, which you say that because you don't want to hurt hardware sales. Like, they're like, we'll support the Switch for another 4 or 5 years.
I think the Switch 2, the Switch Pro, the Super Nintendo Switch, whatever it's called, is just going to be another Switch.
Yes, it'll be a hybrid.
And I think it will take the same cartridges.
I hope so. I mean, Nintendo's terrible about backwards compatibility, so I hope it'll take Switch cartridges along with whatever other cartridges the next generation comes.
I mean, is there any reason to move on from the Switch cartridges?
Yeah, because then all of the new ones won't work on their old ones. They've always done that. DS to 3DS.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true.
So anyways, regardless, point is, whatever they do next will be a significant upgrade, and it's probably at least 2 years away from release.
Yeah, we definitely don't get anything this year.
No,
absolutely not.
People are saying we might get an announcement this year. I don't think that at all. I think we might get an announcement towards the end of next year, maybe even like 2024 E3. You know.
Yeah.
So we do have a while with the Switch. But whatever's coming next, it's not a Switch Pro. I would stake a lot on that. I don't think we're gonna get a significant or even a moderate hardware upgrade for the current Switch. I think they're saving that. I think the next one will run way better. It'll have DLSS, the deep learning super sampling that Nvidia has that, you know, makes it look like 4K artificially or digitally.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So
I think I disagree.
How cool would it be if it had a folding screen?
Yeah,
not like folding like Samsung. Yeah, no, I mean like clamshell.
Yeah. No clamshell screen. No,
I think it needs a clamshell.
I don't care.
It makes it more portable.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Put it in a case.
But you don't need a case if that's the whole point is.
Except none of your like thumb or you mean like if it folded over the entire thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought I was thinking just the tablet unfolding.
No.
No, I don't know. I don't want a clamshell. There is not a DS game that benefited from the clamshell factor.
No, but there were a lot of Wii U games that did. And we could finally get Xenoblade Chronicles X. And if they bring over the Wind Waker version of the Wii U, you've got that whole bottom screen for your map and your menu and your items, so you never have to pause the game.
How do you play that in docked mode?
Maybe the top screen comes off. No. I don't know.
You get out your Wii U tablet.
You just have to pause it
and sync it.
No, you just have to pause it in dock mode. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah, no. So I'm gonna say that I don't agree. I think we will. I don't think they will make a new Switch and new cartridge within the next 3 years. I don't think it gets announced. I think we get an upgrade announced.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm we'll see. I don't think it's going to get another upgrade though. Already going to the OLED is like that's kind of as incremental as they might do another version where it's more slimline, or what I would love is if they did a Switch Lite body for the normal Switch where the
Yes,
Joy-Cons don't come
absolutely.
off and it has a
I
D-pad.
would
Something
like
like
that a lot.
that, but that's not really an upgrade. That's just like a different Switch. So
Yeah, but that's kind of what they did with the the DS and the DS Lite.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
The 3DS
Yeah,
and
that's
the,
what I'm
the
saying.
3DS
Yeah.
XL.
I agree.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I think we get different. We get more Switches.
But they won't have any significant hardware upgrades. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll find out.
Yep.